Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So unfortunately, we are revisiting this situation that happened not too long ago. Now, if you all know, of course, I guess she's an Instagram model or OnlyFans model named Courtney Clenney, who murdered her boyfriend, Toby Obumseli, in cold blood just a few months ago, who also was bailed out like the very next day or something like that after murdering him. It has now been leaked all over the internet. Some very disturbing audio of her degrading him, calling him the N-word multiple times, cussing him out, hitting him, beating him. It's very disturbing. And I'm not going to play it on this channel because, like I said, it's all over the internet. Like, you can go anywhere, Google it, find it on YouTube, but I'm not going to play it on this channel because it is very disturbing and I don't want to trigger anybody. But like I said, in a summary, she basically was calling him all kinds of N-words. You can hear her literally physically hitting him. Now, allegedly, this entire fight that they had, which was one of the last exchanges that they had before she stabbed him, was over him speaking to some other woman that he said that he only said hi to while he was on a bike ride. And she absolutely loses it. And like I said, another reason why I didn't want to play the video on this channel, because the way she was screaming at him, she sounded like a psychopath. Y'all, I'm serious. Like, she sounded crazy when she was screaming at him. The way she was screaming, she sounded almost like she was possessed. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was very disturbing. And she was yelling at him, saying, why didn't you, talk to me first before you said anything to that girl? And he was, trying to apologize profusely, basically saying that he didn't, he wasn't trying to mess with her. He just said hi on a bike ride or on a bike trail to the young woman, that it was, she was making out to be something that it wasn't. Then she proceeds to order him, yes, basically order him while yelling at him to go get her phone. You go find my phone and put it on the charger. And I guess she was trying to like charge up her phone so she could get in contact with someone, I guess, or go out again. In the middle of all of this, he was still being cordial and calm and not acting as crazy with her as she was with him. So clearly, despite how she has tried to paint herself as the victim in the past, clearly the aggressor was her. Now, as I said, in the past, she tried to make it seem like he was the abusive one and her friends, because I didn't forget that video that was put out. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a video that was put out where they had sat down with both his friends and her friends. Her friend said, oh, he was abusive and controlling and he was taking all of her money. And his friend said, well, we had never seen him be aggressive towards her. She was always aggressive towards him. So somebody was lying, and it didn't seem like it was his friends. I'll just put it that way. Now, in one of the more recent videos that was released, she was seen talking to the police, I guess at the apartment complex that she was staying at with him, saying that she wanted to put out a restraining order against him and asking the police how she could go about that, but that she wanted to do it first. Now, of course, like we all know with domestic violence cases, sometimes the aggressor gets painted as the victim and vice versa. But she was showing a lot of red flags, I'll just put it that way, that I feel like got looked over because she's privileged. Let's just be honest. This is a pretty blonde woman who is in the sex industry. She had a lot of privileges that I feel like because she was able to get away with a lot of the stuff she was able to get away with. Also, there was a 911 call that was leaked where basically after she had stabbed him, which, like I said, it was very graphic, it was very saddening, which is why I'm not going to post it on this channel. Basically contemplating the last moments of his life after she had stabbed him, and her just being hysterical one moment, like basically I guess trying to make it seem like it was his fault that she had gotten to an emotional state to where she couldn't control herself and she stabbed him, then apologizing, then asking God for help. I'm like, young woman, you should have been asking God for help long before now. And I'm talking about her specifically because she clearly has some mental problems and some emotional problems that she should have got some help with. Also, a lot of people were comparing this to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, but they were also saying, thankfully with Johnny Depp, he was able to get out before anything fatal happened. So this has really been opening people's eyes to domestic violence where men are concerned, that it's not always the man that is the aggressor, that is the abuser. Sometimes that it is the man that is the victim. And to not create such a, society where, women get off, with so little as a slap on the wrist, and that they're not so privileged that we can't consider that maybe the man was the victim. And another thing this situation has opened our eyes to, people need to, whenever you're in a relationship with somebody, if they are treating you poorly, if they are mistreating you, if they are abusing you, you need to walk away. Like, too many times people have been in these kind of relationships, and we have to be honest, y'all, they ignore a lot of red flags, because these people, they don't just get like this overnight. Okay, they work their way up to this. People ignore red flags. They're so wrapped up in just wanting to be with the person. Sometimes I feel like rarely it is actual genuine love. They do love the person despite the hell they're being put through by said person. Sometimes I believe it's just lust. Sometimes it's an attraction. It's an unhealthy attachment. Whatever it is that they have, it keeps bringing them back to that person. Sometimes it can even be a trauma bond. It's the reason why they won't just walk away. But we need to condemn toxic and abusive relationships. We need to expose and condemn people who are toxic and abusive, whether it's a man or a woman. We need to promote healthy relationships and encourage people to walk away. And I know that can be very, like I said, it can be hard to do, because some people, like I said, when they get wrapped up in, like I said, that person, and even possibly if there's a trauma bond involved, or some kind of trauma or some kind of complex that like keeps them attached to that person, it's very hard to encourage somebody to walk away. But we still need to do it, because you could very well be saving somebody's life. You saying, listen, you need to walk away from that person because they're not treating you right, they're abusing you, and that is not okay. I don't care if it's a man or a woman, you need to walk away. They could actually take that to heart and think about that, contemplate, and walk away. Like I said, for all you know, you could be saving their life. We also need to double down on exposing and making more aware that men can be victims, women can be abusers. Because if you don't believe that they got some women abusers out there, let me tell you to think again. And she doesn't have to be using her fists, because there are so many women out there who are verbally abusive, verbally and psychologically, mentally abusive. Have some of these guys offing themselves. They won't have to do it, because they'll be doing it for them, because of all the horrible and malicious stuff that some of these women let fall out of their mouths. Anyways, like I said, we need to promote healthy, non-toxic relationships, and telling people that they need to walk away. I don't care what they got, how much money they have, what they look like, what they doing for you, what they call themselves doing for you. If they are abusing you physically, mentally, sexually, any kind of way, you need to walk away, especially if they are violent. Ain't none of that worth your life. For the life of me, I don't understand why that young man did not get the heck away from her when she started exhibiting these signs of being crazy and aggressive and whatnot. The moment she started putting her hands on him, he should have walked away. But like I said before, these situations, these relationships, they're very complicated. There's a lot that goes into it. But like I said, I'm standing on the heel of, we need to promote healthy, non-toxic relationships and people walking away from abuse and abusive partners and abusive relationships, whether it's a man or a woman. It's very sad that this happened, but it's a wake-up call. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comments below.